Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Daily Crypto News. It's been a long weekend. We haven't seen you guys. Hope everyone had a great weekend. It was holiday here in the States for some. So if you were on holiday, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. If not, then I hope you had a great weekend as well. I like the background change real quick. But as you guys know, one of the admins over here at BigONE, as well as Asia Broadcast, you can click the links below to get any of that information. As you know, we kind of like to get together a couple minutes out of the day, give you guys a couple topics that we find in the news, talk about it a little bit, kind of help give you a little bit of insight what's going on in the market. And I'll let Scott talk a little bit more about himself, and then we'll kind of jump into it.
Yeah, Scott with BigONE, handle the marketing right now for Canada and the US. Just here, happy to do the news again. Start of a new week, start of a new adventure, start of a new bull run, hopefully as well. I'm excited to go.
Yeah. It's always a bull run for some and a bear for others. That's one of the most important things to remember about cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's always going to be green for some and red for others. And that should be how your portfolio is set up as well, not financial advice, but it's always good to see a little bit of green on when you see red on others. And if you're a trader, that's always really good because you can, compound your interest by taking one and trading into the other. But we'll go ahead and jump into the news today. One of the big things that hit home for me today, was really, I'm a big crypto Twitter guy. I love Twitter and crypto Twitter. Kind of like gives me life, and it's a lot of information, especially with, spaces and things of that nature. But then today, Jack Dorsey stepped down as the CEO of Twitter, said that he wanted to really concentrate on, Square, the app, that he has as a payment method app here in the States. And how he can get Bitcoin more integrated into that. So I thought that, they were trying to get Twitter more friendly to take tips for Bitcoin. But it looked like he's going to, side with the payment side, peer-to-peer, and go support Square and see how he can, help further the matter and push Bitcoin forward there. So one of the big things to hit home, not really bad news at all. I think it's really big, if he finds growth, stepping down and going over to help out on the Square side. I think that's really good. I don't feel like Twitter is a platform that actually may not really require him essentially all the time if they have a great team in place.
That's awesome. Jack Dorsey's an interesting character, and to see him go over to PayPal and Square makes me kind of bullish on those two things, because he will definitely involve cryptocurrency even more than they're currently involved in those two projects. That's the one thing that I have to say about it. And like Twitter went up in value, which surprised me, because in the end, I thought maybe that it might actually have a little bit of a downfall when it came down, because the guy that he put in power is kind of a little bit of a censor person. So hopefully he doesn't.
It came down a little. They're down right now. Yeah, they're down almost. I think it was between 0.3 and like 1.3% or something like that. Not really big down, but in the stock market, that's kind of that's a big deal in the stock market.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's not supposed to be that much volatility. But what you got? What you got for your first story today, brother?
First article will be this one. CZ hints that France is in the running as a new Binance global headquarters. He says he's in the midst of dealing with French regulators. I won't say that name, but it's AMF, have received Binance's presence in the country. CZ said that they're pro-business, clear, but very demanding. But I mean, I don't think that scares him from that side of it. So a person being demanding, I think he's in particular likes his projects ran a certain way, and probably expects the same amount of businesses that he's looking at or countries he's looking at, as they probably have to have certain expectations as well, right? So
here's the funny thing, right? Like Binance and CZ, right? They're such a well-rounded coin, right? Here it was a lot of regulation talk, and Binance was going to get banned from this country and banned from that country and banned from this country. We all remember it. What does CZ do? He goes into these countries and complies to their regulations.
Yeah.
Binance US, Binance France, he doesn't, like, come on, man. Like, for people to really not understand what CZ is bringing to the game, he's bringing real utility, right? Like this is the next level of utility that I feel like not even some of the top coins that was before him was able to do. So I commend it to see BNB go from $16 this time last year, between $16 and $20 to where it is now. That speaks volumes about what kind of utility he gave to that coin. I
just think of all the BNB that I spent over the years buying cryptocurrency.
Yeah, like think about it, man.
It's at now, like holy. Yeah.
Like if Diamond Scrotum was ever something to take it in place, that would be the time to have the Diamond Scrotum. Not financial advice and not testicular advice as well. But to jump back on the subject, I commend CZ. I like Binance. A lot of people, to some of the older people in Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're not really Binance fan, but look at the fees, look how much cheaper they're able to get things done, how much faster. And it's a lot of projects, but you bring the right builders or the right tech people on there, and it'll build just like anything else. So I commend him, and I hope they keep pushing it forward.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And then your next article, what's this one?
So my next article is going to be, we've been going back and forth for about 2 weeks now, talking about gaming tokens, metaverse tokens. I kind of watch for movement on the bigger market cap tokens to see how it'll flow down to the smaller ones. You got to remember if a big market cap takes a certain percent of that percent of or that percent of that section, then everything below it will be able to have money flow into it as well, right? And the smaller the market cap, the bigger the pool will make it. So it's actually interesting that it looks like not metaverses are going anywhere or anything, but it's looked like it's finally taking a little halt. So while they just pretty much had the bull market while everything else was bleeding, they were steadily pushing forward. It looked like they've been balancing out. If you're looking at TVL, and that's the total value lock on some of the altcoins right now, it's starting to really go up for DeFi. Just recently, the TVL went up to an all-time high, 265.74 billion was the all-time high on November 9th, and now it's at 276.92 billion, and that's TVL launched, locked in on Ethereum, and so you got a lot of factors in that, Phantom, Polkadot, Kasama. It's a lot of things that contribute towards that, but it's good to see that DeFi is starting to have a little comeback, man. People haven't been talking about DeFi, hasn't had its bull run yet, and like we always talk about, Scott, it's always critical to pay attention to what's happening when it comes to this value getting locked places. We've seen it with NFTs, and we've seen Solana break out. Now we just seen it in gaming. We've seen Sandbox and DVI take out and PYR take off. And now here it is coming to DeFi. And, I don't want to speculate on a lot, but I think one of your articles coming up may talk about a particular DeFi blockchain that I think may use this FUD to lure in bigger investors at a lower cost. So it's interesting to see what DeFi is going to do with all this value lock right now.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Well, and I'll get to that article since I believe this article you're talking about, I could be wrong, but hold on one sec. I will just switch it, and you can say right away when you see the screen, you can tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Avalanche's first meme coin, SnowDog, which was SnowDog or whatever, ends in $30 million rug pull. So, and it shows down here, this guy actually tracked it down. So I'll skip past that Twitter thing. So SnowDog
was about to go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, just rug 10.392 million in MIM. And then afterwards, you can see as well, he talks about it later and says again that to add, there was two other wallets that took 7.7 and 3.397 million using the same strategy. So it was like basically what they did is they, in the lead, they bought 189.8K worth of SDOGE with MIM done in batches of 10K over the span of 3 hours. They staked their SDOGE and were able to pull out 10.392 million worth of MIM in the pool a day later. So the hard thing about this is when you have like a new chain or blockchain that comes out and you have a rug pull like that, it definitely doesn't, like you said, it doesn't lend well to that cryptocurrency, and plus on top of it will lead people back to other spaces like the DeFi space. So I mean, it's just natural the way it is, and I'm sure they'll recover again. But in the same sense, it's hard for people to put their money there in hopes of big money, and then in the end, they lost it all, which is too bad.
Yeah, and I don't think it, and I think Avalanche is one of those platforms that's building. I think with some of the partnerships they've been able to team up with recently, I think they're going to be really well going forward. I think this will shake a lot of people out that are invested on that meme side of it. That's new to maybe Avalanche. I don't know if they really came to Avalanche because of what they knew about Avalanche and what they're going to be doing going forward, or if they went there just out of the meme hype for their first meme coin. I think in a lot of these new blockchains that you see getting built up right now, there will be, if you see meme projects, they're always going to be some kind of malicious intent, because these are charity tokens and charity formed projects in a sense. So their job is to give away money and to send money to places. Without clear utility, you have to understand the risk that you're taking. I hope people start factoring that in when they start thinking about how much their risk to reward is with some of the meme projects. So I hate to hear that happened, but I mean, it happens so often now that I hate to say, like, is it weird to be almost numb by it now? Like,
yeah, it's like that's almost like a flash loan style hack almost in a way. And they're saying that it wasn't them to begin with. So I don't know. I just think it happens. We're going to see more of it in the future. What they do to recover the funds is going to be the interesting part, or maybe they can track those wallets better than some of these other blockchains. Maybe there's information on there that we don't know that could be interesting in the next few days to really show people their capability too, right? You never know what's going to end up happening in the end. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading something on the top about one of my cryptocurrencies. So,
like, did he freeze on the screen, or is he just sitting there?
Like I was just reading something.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think they just, it's got to all get cleaned up. And it's unfortunate what happened with those people. And like you said, I hope, I think Avalanche is in a good position to be able to, do something for the people who did get affected by this. So I'll be looking forward to see what they do. All right, so jumping to my last article.
Yeah, for sure.
To jump into my last article, we're going to be talking about South Korea. And in South Korea, the lawmakers inch closer to delay crypto tax by 1 year. So the long debate in the country's legislature could soon be over, meaning cryptocurrency gains made in South Korea may not be taxable until 2023 at the earliest. Right now, they were looking at trying to be taxed as early as January 1st, 2022. But then the lawmakers said that right now they don't have any, that there's too many like flaws in the information gathering procedures with cryptocurrency to implement the national tax service on it. So there's not a tax, there's basically not a tax service or tax system that can monitor these inconsistencies and volatility. So that's why it makes it really hard for legislation to actually have tax on cryptocurrency. And that's why they're trying to get the volatility to calm down, because with the volatility it's very hard, and it's not really a way, even though the blockchain is very legible, this will take years of time, for them to try to track everybody down in the world. So they don't have a really cost-effective way of doing it. So right now, it looks like Korea is going to put that off until 2022. So really good to see that they're not rushing anything over there. And, I'm pretty sure the people who made a lot of profit in 2021 will be smiling.
And I'll show you, this one's a good article. I wanted to end off with a positive note, and I think you'll like this one. And Microstrategy bought another 7K Bitcoin worth $414 million. So Michael Saylor's Microstrategy revealed another Bitcoin buy, this time for this much. So that's Michael Saylor is a smart man when it comes to being a maxi and not in cryptocurrency. So his business buying that much Bitcoin doesn't come as a surprise, but it definitely probably helped with Bitcoin's pricing as well. And when they're buying that much Bitcoin, so that's just the bulls buying up that market, right? Which we need in the end. But I mean, I hope some of the small guys benefited from that low market price as well. And me and you kind of were talking about this earlier. I sent you an article that said the futures were ending on Friday. So, and that was coincided kind of with the time where Bitcoin dropped in value so much, which is kind of funny. It's almost like it was done on purpose to then, after the futures are done, to drive the price back up again once the futures are finished. So it's smart on their part, right?
Oh yeah, like I said, a lot of people think that bears are these bad people, right? And they don't want to see Bitcoin succeed. Well, remember this, right? This year's bears are usually, or this cycle's bears are usually last cycle's whales.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't blame them for taking profit. All right.
Nope.
I kind of thought about that in a sense, and it kind of messed me up thinking about that. I was like, man, like where did these whales come from? Why are they always so negative? Well, I mean, guys, they have to take their profit too. I mean, God, like we're all going to be whales at one point in due time, I would assume. And then just hopefully, they all do it responsibly. To do it, like with Michael Saylor, he's a premier bull right now, correct? So think about it. This time next year, if Bitcoin goes to 200,000, not financial advice, but if it was go to 200,000 next year and he was to sell, would people really be mad at him for taking 4x profit on his investment that he's doing today, that we're smiling about and praising him for keeping the bull run alive by taking these kind of acts? El Salvador being the same. So we always, as the retail guys, I think we got to keep in mind stuff like that, right? Like, like people are going to eventually take their profits, but hopefully, we have people that's just as bullish and these times that take over their positions and they all move accordingly, right? So,
and it will happen. Like all this stuff will come.
Oh yeah,
the cycles of the bulls, of the bulls and the bears.
Oh yeah, man, it's always funny, man, and I like it. And before we get out of here, I think I'm more calm now. I had a token relaunch on me today, and somebody said that liquidity got snatched. So that was the message that I had seen. So like my face was really just stuck. Like I was like, what? Like, but it's smooth to see that it's right at where I need. Like it's doing really good right now. So I can really I'm more relaxed now. I almost like scared myself there. So before we get out of here, guys, you guys know I like to jump over to Coin Market, or nope, used to be Coin Market Cap. I go to CoinGecko now. And look at the total market cap, try to get some insight on what's going on the total market cap. So as you guys know, yesterday we were getting back up from the 2.2, 2.3 area. We seen highs up yesterday around 2.5. And then, it kept on rising. Right now we're at 2.75 on the total market cap. The Bitcoin dominance is at 39.4. So that's why you see that Bitcoin price rising up. Adding a percent to their dominance, as well as a percent to the Ethereum, which is up to 19.5% dominance. So to see these gaining a percent back lets you know that some of the other markets are probably going to take a little bit of a chill this week as these try to push back and stay relevant in this bull run. So guys, make sure you're keeping an eye on the market. Remember, the holidays are here. There are going to be a lot of gifting tokens. Please don't get caught up in the gift tokens and some of the holiday tokens. Don't let the holiday, put a blindfold over your eyes where you're not doing your due diligence. So make sure you guys are taking a look at that, and tune back in tomorrow, and we'll be here again for another episode of the Daily Crypto News.
All right. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Enjoy this market. I know I'm going to enjoy it for the next little while. You guys do the same.
Peace.
Have a good day. Peace.